He pressed the 12th floor button, but the elevator didn't take him to 12. It took him somewhere that doesn't exist, somewhere no one in the building is supposed to reach. Mark stepped into the elevator while still on a call, angry, frustrated, half listening, half arguing. Without thinking, he pressed 12 and held it down a second too long. That's when the display flickered. 12 turns to 13. He didn't notice it, but something changed forever. He kept his eyes glued to the floor, his jaws clenched as the elevator began its smooth, quiet ascent. The call started breaking apart, words fragmenting, voices distorted. A second later, the line disconnects. He thought it was a bad connection. It wasn't. Before he could redial, a smooth chime echoed through the cabin. The elevator slowed to a smooth stop and the doors slid open. Mark lowered his phone, exhaling a sharp breath of annoyance, and finally looked up. The floor indicator above the door glowed 13. He frowned. He had lived in this building for 3 years. There was no 13th floor. It never was. Confused, he steps out cautiously. Everything looked normal. Bright lights, clean carpet, identical doors stretching endlessly in both directions. Too normal. Hoping it was just a strange electric glitch, Mark stepped back into the elevator and pressed 12 again. Nothing. Tried other buttons, and none of them responded. Immediately, he pulled out his phone. No service. A hint of anxiety tightened in his stomach. Mark stepped out of the elevator and hurried towards the heavy fire door leading to the stairway. Locked. He tried again, rattling the handle violently, but the door was locked tight. He was trapped. Then,
attention residents, a new resident has arrived. Orientation will begin shortly.
a voice from the ceiling speaker alarmed him. He doesn't move. He doesn't understand what he just heard. Unease settles in. He walks to the nearest door and knocks. No response. He tried the doorknob. Surprisingly, it clicked and turned. He pushed the door open. The room was alive. TV running, lights on, groceries on the table. But no one was there. He tried another apartment. Same result. Every room occupied yet empty. As he stepped back into the hallway, the speakers cracked to life once again.
All residents be advised. Please remain at your designated units. I repeat, do not leave your designated units.
His breath quickened. He started calling out in the hallway. No one answered. Only the ventilation hum. And then a sound, faint. Not the speakers, something else. Mark followed the sound down the hallway, his footsteps muffled by the thick carpet. The murmuring grew slightly louder as he approached apartment 1315. The door was half open, and so he stepped in. Inside, sitting on a wooden desk, was a small, dusty radio. Still on, barely holding a signal. A voice came through, weak and distorted.
If anyone is hearing this, do not listen to what they say. It is all.
The signal broke, and silence. Without warning, every speaker on the floor activated at once.
Welcome, Mark. We are happy to have you today.